Now, it seems like nothing is ever left to the imagination anymore. And would you look at that? Everything that was talked about for the iPhone 7 practically happened. How's it going, guys? It's Billy here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the 7 things that you should know about the newly announced iPhone 7. And of course, there's a ton to talk about with this new phone, like what actually was said before the release for it, all of the little stuff that was rumored for it, and what actually came out as well. But let's start off with number 1, and let's talk about the new color for the phone. First and foremost, RIP Space Gray. It's now jet black and just regular plain black. Jet black being that one where the old classic iPhone 3G and the old original one had, and the 3GS. Where's that glossy kind of black finish to it? Believe you me, people are going to start complaining about the fingerprints on this thing. I really like that old design for it, so I'm personally happy to see it back. And of course, we also have the classics, the golds, the silvers, and of course that rose gold, baby. I know you guys love that color the most. In terms of rumors, that one was kind of true, at least people thinking that space gray was kind of going away, and people called it at the time space black. We didn't know it was going to be called jet black, so that rumor was at least partially confirmed today. Next up on our list is number 2, and that the iPhone 7 is both water and dust proof. So this one was kind of floating around as well, being that the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus would be IP67 standard, and it seems like that would be coming true for this version. So that was indeed announced today that the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus are indeed IP67 water and dust proof. That means that they're not necessarily going to be blocking everything, but they'll do a pretty good job if, let's say, you accidentally drop yourself in the pool, for example. Next up is number 3, and this one is probably up there with the headphone jack when it came to rumors, and that was about the dual camera system. So it is indeed true, there wasn't a third version, not an iPhone Pro. They're just sticking to the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. On the iPhone 7, you're just going to have that new 12 megapixel shooter with all the fancy stuff that they talked about in their presentation. But where you're going to be seeing that dual camera option, that's going to be on the iPhone 7 Plus. But first, let's talk about what's the same on just the both singular camera. They're both now going to be featuring optical stabilization on both of them. It's got an f1.8 aperture. Both flashes are going to be featuring about 50% more light and reach. The front-facing camera is going to be bumped up on both of them from the original 5 megapixels all the way up to 7. But on the back, it's going to be staying at that 12 megapixels, but they have improved a lot of the stuff behind it in terms of like the processing for it, for example. Now, in terms of the dual camera lens system, there's going to be 2 of them. One is going to be a 28mm lens, and the other one is a 56mm lens. The 56mm lens means it's a little bit more zoomed in, while the 28mm is a more wide-angle lens. Now, essentially what you'll be able to do with the iPhone 7 Plus is that because it already has those 2 lens system in it, there's going to be a 2x zoom in terms of hardware. Of course, you could always zoom in with your photos before, but once you were zooming in, it was using a software zoom, meaning that the images would be really pixelated and wouldn't really look good. At least with the iPhone 7 Plus in this case, it's going to be zooming in with that 56mm lens instead of doing a software zoom. So up to 2x zoom, it's going to be doing it hardware. Therefore, it's still going to be looking good because it's using an actual lens. But there is also 5x and even 10x zoom, but that's going to be software zoom and it's not going to look as good. And also, interestingly enough, added to the camera is a nice little bokeh effect. Now, this sort of depth effect is going to be simulated. It's going to be done on a sort of software basis. But the weird thing about it that we're going to be noting here is that it's not launching when the actual phone is coming. It's going to be an update that's coming out later this year. So that's something to note if you do plan to purchase the iPhone brand new. The depth effects that they're calling it, at least in this case, the bokeh effects, they're not going to be available immediately off the bat. It's actually going to be included in an update later this year. Next up is number 4 on the docket, and that's speakers. Finally, guys, Apple, thank you. Dual stereo speakers, one on the top, one on the bottom. It finally happened. I can't believe it took you guys this long instead of having that single little grill on the bottom. Thank you. Like, I can't believe it. Stereo speakers finally on the iPhone, guys. It's been a while, but it's finally been introduced. And of course, number 5, and probably the one that has been rumored the most, is that removal of the 3.5mm audio jack. The rumors are indeed true. Apple has axed that slot. But what they are doing instead is they are including Lightning earpods in the box, and they're also including an adapter from Lightning to 3.5mm in the box. So if you do have your old headphones, you could still use them with the new iPhone. Now, the justification for this, and a lot of people have alluded this, especially with the rumors ramping up to the phone, is that because of the space that the 3.5mm jack takes up, this could be used for better applications, either having a bigger battery, better cameras, etc., etc. So they're taking the steps forward to actually removing the 3.5mm audio jack, just having Lightning. And of course, they're going to be replacing it with like their brand newly announced AirPods. They're completely wireless things. I don't know if I'm 100% up on the design for it yet. To me, it still looks a little bit odd, but it's up to you guys. Check it out for yourselves. I'll leave a link to all of this in the description below. But anyway, guys, it is indeed true. They're removing that jack. Therefore, you can't charge and listen to your music through your headphones at the same time. But if you have wireless and you're charging, you can do it that way. But anyway, the old conventional way of having it charging and using 3.5mm audio jack is no more. And number 6 on the things that you need to know about the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus is that I just can't believe that it's 2016 and only now have they decided to remove the 16GB option on a phone. That should have been gone like 2 years ago. And they've also rectified that by making all of the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus models that they're still going to be selling minimum of 32GB as well. That's right, so all of the models are now going to be 32GB, 128, and 256. And a thing to note, if you really want that jet black version, that's the one that can probably be a fingerprint magnet in the future. Those ones are only available on the 2 larger models, so you have to bump yourself up to 128GB and 256GB if you want to get jet black. Otherwise, it's unfortunately not available on the 32GB model. But thank you, Apple. It's 2016. I just can't believe it's taken this long, but you know what? You finally did it. Congratulations. Welcome to the club. And number 7 for the top 7 things that you need to know about the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus is that it pre-orders on September 9th. That's right, in 2 days from now, you'll be able to pre-order the brand new iPhone 7 and 7 Plus for your very selves. But unfortunately, it doesn't ship until the 16th, so you won't be getting it until then. But guys, if you want to get in on it already and figure it out, what you want to get, pre-orders open on September 9th. So for all of the information in this video today, guys, I've left it all in the description below, and I've tried to source it as well in the video itself. But in case you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, be sure to leave that down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this brand new iPhone announcement. What do you think comparing to the old one? What do you even think about it comparing to current phones out there? I'd love to know your opinion, guys. Be sure to drop a comment about that in the comment section below. I'm sure you guys are sick of me ranting and rambling and raving about the iPhone right now, at least these top 7 things for today. So I'd like to thank you guys very much for watching today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.